welcome to another episode of the RDJs podcast. This is the show we talk about everything nerdy. My name is Mick, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts.
The dog? The dog just that's Snips.
Snips. Welcome, Snips. Want a treat? Josh.
What's up?
And Jonah.
Hello.
Bye, Snips. Welcome to the show, guys. Corey's not with us this week, but he will be back next week, probably. Let's just jump into some trailer reactions. Blast or trash. You know how the game works.
You all know. Y'all know. It's everyone's favorite game. It's time for Trash or Blast, where we discuss trailers and
now,
see if it's going to be
song.
a trash or if it's a blast. These are some trailers that dropped for San Diego Comic-Con that we're just kind of going to go through. You know, the first one I think is the big one. We're going to start off with a bang. Rings of Power Season 2. We got our second trailer. The first one was a teaser. This is kind of more meat on the bones. Meat's back on the menu, boys. I love this trailer. This trailer looks intense. It looks dark. The battle scenes look epic. I think Elrond looks amazing in this. Like, all the shots with Elrond were just like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, he looks cool there. I think they really made my boy Elrond shine in this. We get to see some Entwives. You know, my boy Treebeard. Sadly, you know, the Entwives go away.
He lost her.
But we're going to get to see them.
I thought you said cement wives. It's like, really? I don't know about the cement wives.
I can't believe they're changing the lore. That's not in the books.
The interesting thing, not much of The Stranger. Like, there was a little bit, but even in both the trailers, we've gotten like just little teases of him and not much. Everything else is kind of focused on Elrond, Galadriel, Sauron, Adar, that kind of stuff. So I'm really curious to see what they do with The Stranger, and I can't remember what her name is. Nori. So that's
Nori
kind of interesting that they're kind of keeping that kind of under wraps. The Easterlings looked awesome. Kind of Mad Max vibes a little bit with the different like masks. Like, it looked really cool.
I hope we get a flaming guitar.
There you go. But I'm stoked for this. The music is awesome. Bear McCreary doing his stuff again. He's just awesome. I love the soundtrack of the first season. This is absolute blast for me.
Wow,
I cannot wait. And it comes out at the end of August. So we're right there, guys. Anyways, Mick or Josh, go ahead.
I totally agree. I'm actually rewatching the first season right now just to like remember what happened. Because it's been, like 2 years now since that came out? I think it was 22.
Has it been?
Yeah.
Man, time flies when you're working 4 jobs and doing a podcast.
Yeah, everything you said, it just looks like it's more and just, it definitely looks darker. Because I think we're going to get a lot more of Sauron deceiving, and because I think he's in his elven form. So I'm curious how they're going to go about that, because it's the same actor.
Yeah.
Nice Snips. But do you think it's going to piss some people off about? I mean, it just
of course
it just talked about it in the trailer. Yeah, that's a dumb question. Of course it will. But they talk about in the trailer that it's seeming like the elves aren't going to take their rings off immediately.
Right, that they know Sauron deceived them and they know all that kind of stuff. But there's that line where Elrond says, like, you're his accomplices now if you keep doing this. And she's like, well, the ring's leading me somewhere. Yeah. That's going to bother people.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, let's wait and see. Because here's the thing with trailers. This happens all the time where they take something and it's out of context and they put something. It could be, they could have been talking about, something else. Like, you're the accomplice of the elf, the elf down the road that baked the lembas bread wrong and she didn't tell Elrond and he got sick, So like, you're an accomplice to old Lembas man over there. You never know what it's going to be.
I could see, like, if they do something similar to what they did with either Aragorn or Faramir, how in the beginning they're very different, and then towards the end they make the same decisions that they do in the book. Like, I think if they're doing it this way, I think it might give it more of a of a story, like 3-act story. Like,
yeah,
maybe they struggle in the beginning with why should we take the rings off or whatever, but then they do make that right decision in the end. They might do that, and still,
which I hope it works better than the Faramir, because that's my least favorite thing. I love Faramir in the book, and I think my biggest complaint of the Lord of the Rings movies is I feel like they did Faramir dirty. But Josh, what do you think? You as being more of our Tolkien expert on this podcast.
So that's actually, I thought the trailer was good. The action looked really cool. I think they said that that battle scene is going to be 3 episodes long.
Nice.
So there's like a siege. They showed it in the trailer.
Is that with Elrond, or is that?
With Elrond, it's just like it's going to be their big set piece, and they said it's going to be basically take place over 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But so I thought all the action looked cool. It just everything looks bigger. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the first season looked really, really good as well. But I think just everything's like kind of ramped up a little bit. The one thing that did kind of throw me off at first glance was the ring thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was like, I don't really like that. And I don't like where they're going with it. But the more I've thought about it, the more it makes more sense to me. Because so the big thing that I didn't like about the first season was that they did the rings out of order, basically.
Right.
So they were like, okay, he helped out, and then they're going to make the elven rings, and then he's going to come back. So they're almost still doing that, where he comes back, and they've already kind of addressed it in the trailer. It looks like Celebrimbor has him. I can't remember his Sauron. Mm-hmm. He has him in custody. It looks like, and then it looks like what happens is he then reveals himself and says, "Oh, I'm actually the bearer of gifts." Mm-hmm. And then they start working with each other again. So they're almost like doing the story over again a little bit, which is a little weird, but I'm kind of fine with it because I want to see that part of the story.
Could it be a flashback?
I don't think it is.
Could it?
I think it's, who knows?
Like, could it be that they're like, oh yeah, we thought we didn't show you this, but he actually came before, and then I don't know.
That would seem strange. I mean, I guess that would make it
Guess who's
more
back?
sense.
Back again. Hey, it's me. It's Sauron.
Right. The only thing,
Sauron's
because then, I wouldn't like that, because then would we get like scenes where Celebrimbor's like winking at him? He's like, I know who you really are.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I think what's going to happen is Galadriel's going to leave, and then he's going to come back, and he's going to be like, hey, Galadriel said all these things about you, and then he's going to reveal himself and be like, no, she's crazy. I'm a messenger from Valinor. And then he's like, okay, well, let's work together then. Because like, I think that in the trailer, they showed that there's like the fire.
Yeah.
So I think that's when he reveals his true, quote unquote, true form as Anatar, the bearer of gifts. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the one thing that threw me off about that was that technically the elven rings are the only ones that Sauron didn't directly work with.
Right.
So that's why they're not corrupted by him. So all the other ones Sauron worked on, so he basically
put a little Sauron juice in it.
Put a little extra in there. So that's why kind of like the whole idea of like her being like, oh, it's calling to me, and Elrond kind of thinking that kind of bought, like, I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense. But we only know that because in the story, it basically is like, in the books, it's like, oh, matter of fact, Sauron didn't help out with those. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, how are they going to know that?
Yeah.
So it makes more sense, I think, story-wise for Elrond to be suspicious of it. Right. To be like, hey, this guy's super sketchy.
Yeah.
And he helped you guys with the rings, or like, in some way. So you can't trust a power like that, basically. So I think it kind of bothered me at first, but I think the more I think about it, I think they can go somewhere interesting with the story.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, it's all going to depend. We're just getting it based on a trailer, which, again, they can throw things in certain spots to make you think something.
Right.
So I do think for all you people out there that are ready to jump on Rings of Power and say it's trash, how about you wait to see the season, and then we can decide. Is it a blast for you, though? Do you like the trailer?
Yeah, it's a blast.
Mick,
Blast. Yep.
to blast. We're blasting off. We can't wait for this. This is going to be awesome. Let us know what you thought of the trailer. Are you excited for Rings of Power? Are you not? Let us know in the comments. Next one that we have, I know this is Mick's favorite, but because he's a huge fan of these kind of movies. Alien Romulus.
Oh, jeez.
We went and watched Deadpool together, and the trailer was before Deadpool. This movie looks scary. It looks like the original Alien, first two movies. I'm excited for this. I've got a little story that happened at Comic-Con that I want to get you guys' reaction on, but this is a blast for me. It's creepy. It's scary. The face huggers are probably one of the worst. I mean, as far as like one of the most creepy things created in cinema. Gave me nightmares as a kid. Seeing those like running after them and just latching onto face. It's the stuff of nightmares. So this is a blast for me. I'm gonna go watch this. I think it's gonna be amazing. Mick, what are your thoughts? Alien Romulus.
I mean, look, it's definitely not my kind of movie. That being said, the trailer looks really good.
Yeah.
Everything looked good in it. It seems like they're using a lot of practical effects, which, I mean, you look back at those original movies, the fact that they were so believable and scary was they used practical stuff. So I think that's always fun to see. But yeah, I mean, I probably will.
It's a trash for Mick.
We'll go see this. No, I would give it a blast just because it conveyed scary, creepy vibes to me, and I don't want to see the movie. But I thought it looked good, so I will give it a blast.
Nice. I think this is we got a little more story in this trailer. Like I guess they told us kind of what the premise is of like they're kind of breaking into a ship because it's abandoned and they're trying to score something.
Yeah, I think what they said is this takes place between
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
So in whatever the 45 years that take place in between 1 and 2 or whatever it is. So that's interesting because I feel like it's always hard with the alien movies. You're like, where does this take place?
Yeah.
And if this was like an isolated incident on one planet, well, how did they expand? But yeah, I mean, it seems kind of going back to the roots of like number one, basically like space horror. But yeah, I thought it was a blast. I think it looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good. Two kind of interesting things that I wanted to bring up. One was apparently they filmed this movie chronologically. So they were like, when a character died on set,
They killed him in real life?
No, but they're like, you're not seeing him anymore because we've filmed all their scenes.
And that's really rare for those that don't know how movies are made. Movies are almost always made out of order, and they'll, if they have like a scene in a room and then the movie moves to another place and they go back to the room, like all that stuff in the room is shot like in that one time. So that's interesting. Yeah.
So the actors were saying it was kind of interesting because it felt like that person actually died, because then you wouldn't see them for the rest of like they were done.
Crazy.
So I thought was really cool. Though the tidbit that I didn't like, this drove me nuts. And I put it on our TikTok, and I got a lot of people like responding saying that they did like it. The director, Fede Alvarez, was talking about how he had an actor come in to do like for the role, to test for the role. And he asked the actor if he had seen any of the Alien movies. And he said, yeah, I've seen the first two, Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Uh-huh.
And so the director said, he's like, so in my mind, I said, yeah, you're not getting this part.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, he didn't know that, but as soon as he said that, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Here's why.
That's unfair.
Here's why, because he doesn't know what this alien's about. Technically, he's right. The first two are Prometheus and Covenant, because in chronology, they're the prequels.
Yeah.
So they are the first two, technically. So to then not give a guy a job or not give him a chance because he watched two movies that you didn't like. The other thing is, Ridley Scott made those movies. Yeah. Ridley Scott made Alien. So you're trashing, the guy that made these movies, who created this universe, and you're kind of giving this whole like, those are so bad. We're going back to, to me, it's like the point of that story Like, there's no point. It's one, you're making the actor look stupid to be like, he thought the Alien movies, he thought those two were the first two. And then you're kind of trashing Ridley Scott. It doesn't make you look good. It seemed like a pointless story.
Right.
And I was just like, I don't like it.
It seems like it was the purpose of that story was to be like, forget all that other crap.
Yeah.
We're going back to the basics.
Yeah, you wanted to get a reaction out of the crowd to be like when he's like, so in my mind I thought, you're not getting this job. And it was like, ah.
Did they out who the actor was?
No,
Yeah.
he didn't say. He
Matt
just
Damon.
Plus, like, how many times do you hear of an actor in a franchise like that and they're asked like the nerd question?
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, I don't know.
Well, like
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like it happened with Ahsoka, where someone was like, "Oh, when they said something about when Anakin Skywalker blew up the Death Star."
No,
and
that was the Acolyte.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
okay.
Jord.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
goes in and he talks for like 5 minutes. Like he's like, "What was your favorite thing?" He's like, "Just to like when Anakin Skywalker blew up the Death Star, and just to be like all the people, like the moral aspect of that." And I'm like, "Stop talking, dude! Stop talking."
But it's like that happens all the time. Like
Yeah.
on the Rings of Power, you've got all these people that are like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Anytime someone gets cast in a movie, they probably don't know much about it.
Isn't
Like-
that one of the guys from The Hobbit? Was it Gandalf who had never read the books?
Viggo Mortensen.
Oh,
yeah.
read it on the plane.
Never.
Well,
read
and
it.
and his son was the one that said you have
Yeah.
to take this movie,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and he did it for his son. So that whole aspect,
that's
you don't
lame.
need to be a fan to be in a movie.
Right.
Anyways,
you know
I just
what?
thought that.
This trailer's trash.
Trash.
No, the trailer looks good. The movie looks good. I'm just not a fan of what he said. The next one, The Penguin. We got another trailer for The Penguin. They also said this is Matt Reeves' Gotham crime drama is what they're putting it under the umbrella of what the Batman
I thought it
universe
was a
is.
romantic comedy.
Again, I think it looks good. I think Colin Farrell looks awesome as the Penguin.
Yeah.
There's some interesting stuff with Falcone and all that kind of crime families. I want more of this. The trailer looks good. I already want it. And I want to make sure that we get a Batman too, because I'm a little nervous about it. But I'm just hoping that the Penguin delivers. It looks like it will. But yeah, thoughts. It's a blast for me. I'm excited for the Penguin.
I mean, I think as far as the trailer goes, it was kind of the same thing we've seen before. So I can't really say like, wow, this blew my socks off. I think by the rules of the game, I have to say trash.
But you've liked the other ones, haven't you?
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm done with the trailers.
Okay. All right.
I'm
Trash.
like, let's get to the show.
Mick?
I agree in terms of there wasn't really anything new.
He did dance with his mom. We didn't know that.
That's great.
She seems sickly.
Yeah, I don't need another trailer to be
Yeah.
excited for the show, so I'm still going to watch the show, and I'm still very excited. Like you said, there better be a Batman 2.
Well, so
I'm going to be pissed.
I mean, Batman's got to show up in this, right?
I've heard rumors that he is.
I mean, that'd be cool. He should.
There has to be one scene. Just one.
wanted.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
Yeah. And he goes, "What are you?
hey, what's the difference between you and me?" And he goes, "I'm not wearing hockey pads."
And then he's riding on the roof of the Joker car.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he dives into the... Okay.
Interesting thing. This came out actually during Comic-Con, or maybe a couple days before, but the last movie, they had a website that was laratalada.com or something.
Yeah.
And it had a bunch of riddles. And if you did the riddles, you would find like pictures of the production and stuff. Well, that when the movie was out, that's how they got the Barry Keoghan Joker clip for the first time. Is someone put in a riddle and it's like that scene came up. So it was kind of cool marketing. Interesting thing was that that website came back online with new like prompts and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And so one of the things that came out when people investigated it said cold front coming into Gotham, warning extreme cold and that kind of stuff. So people are like, is that a hint that Mr.
Oh my God.
Freeze,
They're teasing Condiment King.
is that the tease that it's Mr. Freeze? That would make sense if it takes place right after you've got a whole city flooded in water. it'd be a perfect setting for Mr. Freeze to like freeze a certain aspect of it.
Everybody, chill.
Not like that. But I'm like, can you
Who killed
imagine?
the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Not that one. But can you imagine if they did like Heart of Ice animated series, Mr. Freeze, and like that would be amazing. I would love that. I hope that's the case. Anyways.
Or the Schwarzenegger one.
Yeah. Last one for Trash or Blast trailers. DC's next big thing, Creature Commandos. We got a trailer for that. I'm going to tell you right now, looked like trash for me. Surprise, surprise. The music was goofy. I've already seen this whole setup where Waller's taking, Rick Flag Sr. through and it's like, it's a group of the worst of the worst. Like, we've done this with Suicide Squad. We've done it with The Suicide Squad. We did it with Peacemaker. It's just... And now we're doing this. They did it with the Harley Quinn show, animated show.
Suicide Squad video game.
You did it with Guardians of the Galaxy.
So it just feels like it's another rehash, and it's like the characters, I'm not interested. Dr. Phosphorus is interesting, I think. But then
he's the only one that looks
Bride
cool.
of Frankenstein, and then Weasel. Come on. You just wanted to give Sean
That's
Gunn
not
a
even
job.
correct. It's Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
They didn't even do
That's
that
Dr.
right.
Frankenstein to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
You earned that doctor.
But to me, it's just like, and the same thing from the terrible mind of James Gunn. It's like, we do know he's terrible and he's done some pretty nasty things, allegedly. But you don't need to remind us every time, It's just, I just feel like this doesn't get me excited. It didn't look, the animation wasn't particularly like anything special. So, I don't know.
So you're
It's
saying
trash for me.
You're saying it's a blast. Is what
It's
you're
trash for me. Mick?
Yeah, I like you said, it's the same thing for the sixth time now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why are we supposed to be excited for this?
Because the characters that play them in the animated version are going to play them in live action,
Rick
except
Flag
when they
Sr.
don't.
is showing up in Superman.
Is he?
Well, in that case,
Does he have a leather jacket?
He was Frank Grillo, played by Frank Grillo.
oh, was that was him? Mm-hmm. Oh,
And he's in the shots that people got where Ultraman is there, he's there with him. So,
he looks different in the animated.
well, he's a cartoon.
Yeah, but it's like the same.
Right, they're supposed to be, yeah.
It's supposed to be the same thing.
They're supposed to sound the same, okay?
Isn't he like blonde in the animated?
No, he's got like the gray here and black.
Well, anyway, no, I'm not excited for this at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's characters I don't care about, and it's characters that we've seen a lot that I don't care about.
Yeah.
Amanda Waller is just I'm really annoyed with just that over and over and over again. And like, yeah, the animation looked bad. It just didn't look like there was a lot put into it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to change when it comes out, but I highly doubt it. But it didn't look polished to me. It looked weird. Yeah, trash.
It's trash for me. It's just everything you guys already said. I wasn't excited for this in the first place, so that probably is.
Well, did you know that the
adding to it?
actors
Yeah.
are going to be?
God.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Across all mediums, like
Wow,
even in
that's
video
crazy.
games. So like if you play the Suicide Squad video game, there might be some
kinda cool.
voice that shows up in there.
I just know that there's going to be a lot of really dumb humor in here that I don't like.
Yes.
Like right off the bat in the trailer with Weasel, he's like, "Oh, he's pissing," or and you're like, "Oh, okay," like you know what I mean? Just dumb.
Yeah.
Weasel's just going to be like a vessel for just dumb poop humor,
Yeah.
essentially. Which, hey, listen, I love me some good poop humor. Okay, some poop, but
Then puke. I like poop humor as much as the next guy.
guy. But with Creature Commandos, it's just like it just
it's
gonna be
that's what Peacemaker was.
gratuitous.
It was all like poop jokes and Peacemaker and penis.
I like
jokes.
classy poop humor. Okay.
I was more excited for this show when I didn't know it had to do with just they're basically the Suicide Squad again.
Yeah.
but they're not. They're monster Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
Monster
they're
Squad.
creature commandos.
Totally different.
Very different. Yeah, that's
They're
a trash.
monsters. It's what they do.
At least Harley Quinn's not in it, so there we got that.
Hey, don't speak too soon. She'll show up.
That'll do it for our trailer talk. Now we're going to go into news that dropped at Comic-Con. First thing that we're going to save the big news for last. First one here. We got our first look at the Skeleton Crew with some images. Comes out December 3rd. They're really focused on it being more of like Goonies, kind of E.T., that kind of story, coming of age.
Oh, you mean Stranger Things?
Yes.
In space.
And so it looks cool to me. I like the images. It does give it the vibes of Goonies, E.T., even with their little bikes.
It give it a vibes of the Goonies.
My favorite is the little elephant dude.
Yeah, dude.
The Max Rebo baby.
Max Rebo's son.
I think this looks
Max
awesome.
Rebo Jr.
I know Star Wars Theory is going to trash this. And I know a lot of Star Wars fans are going to trash this because it's like, what the heck is this? But guess what? It's for kids. I can't wait to sit down with my daughter and watch this. This is a Star Wars show that I know I can sit down with them and watch it. So I'm excited for it. It doesn't always have to be, like super amazing. Give me like all this amazing lore. And I think there's going to be some cool Easter eggs that drop in this. They were already mentioning that. It takes place around the time of The Mandalorian. And I'm curious to see where they get lost, because they're saying they get lost in space. Do they get lost in where the universe that Ahsoka's in? Are they going to that extreme, or is this just going to be something else? I'm curious about that kind of stuff. Since it does take place in the Mandalorian time frame, that might be a cool way to connect it.
Oh, no.
We'll find out with our predictions. Does Han Solo show up? Does he save them from space?
Oh, man. As George Lucas said, it's for 12-year-olds.
That's right.
I mean, I don't think I have a 12-year-old daughter, so I'm not really excited about it. I'm sure it'll be interesting.
She like the Goonies, right?
Yeah,
like
but
Stranger
I mean,
Things?
that's like a very specific creative team behind that.
It's the same team. They brought him back.
Well, then, all right. Who is writing and like running the show?
The lady that did The Acolyte. Just kidding. I don't know.
You had me there for a second.
I don't know.
I mean, because the Goonies has a very like Steven Spielberg feel to it that
some of these shots look a little bit
it's
Spielberg. They got that Spielberg magic.
that's hard to replicate. Even he has trouble replicating it now.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. I said it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
How dare you?
I'm
sir.
like, meh. I'm not on it.
This is.
It's really hard to say without seeing a trailer yet.
Yeah.
I mean, images, the images look good, but I can't make a real judgment on it without seeing
And
things.
to that point, with kid actors, it's make or break.
Yeah,
If the kids are not,
big time.
that's the one thing Stranger Things nailed.
Yeah.
Stranger Things, the first season, all the kids were great actors. You believed them. If these kids are just wooden, if these kids are just like they're like Pinocchios out there. If these kids are just like related to their parents that are producers and they got the gig, and they're just like these are
these
terrible.
Kathleen Kennedy's grandkids?
Could be.
Oh my god.
But
I think that will make or break the show.
What about Jude Law?
Jude Law's interesting, and somewhere I read that he was a Jedi, but then somewhere I couldn't find anywhere else where it said
I think
that.
they said he might be force sensitive.
Okay.
I thought I saw
Everyone
something
is
similar
force
like that.
sensitive. Everyone might be.
Who knows?
You know?
Everyone is actually.
Yeah,
Everyone's a little force sensitive.
A little bit. Even that rock.
Yeah, that's right. I think I just can't wait for the episode like mid-season that's just all about Mando. And it's like the best. They're like, oh my gosh,
meet
dude,
Grogu.
this is the best
They
one.
train Grogu with
Luke
Luke.
shows up.
Yeah.
I can't
He
wait
gets
for
the
that
full
one.
suit of armor.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be fun to have something different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a little Acolyte was, I think it was a little disappointing, but it was like supposed to be heavier, more serious. I think I'm ready for a little light Star Wars because
Me too.
we got to have a little light Star Wars.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
I
I'm saying?
can't wait for the scene where they're like, "Hey, you droid!"
There's a droid in it, played by Nick Frost.
Nice.
All right.
There you
Are
go.
you in now?
You
I'm
in
sold.
now? He's in.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I'm frosty, you know?
There you go. That's Skeleton Crew. The Skeleton Crew Lego set came out today. I might wait. I'm going to wait for that one to go on sale a little bit.
That one's you got to wait for that one.
Because that one's expensive, $99.
Looks cool.
Yeah. Next. That's your Lego minute. Now we're gonna go. I've got we got the synopsis for the Thunderbirds, Marvel Thunderbirds, guys.
You mean
Thunderbirds
Thunderbolts?
are go.
Yeah, is it
Thunderbolts. Yeah, you typed Thunderbirds, and I was like, that's a typo.
I was getting excited.
Yeah,
Now I'm not excited.
Thunderbolts. Sorry, you guys are gonna love this since we just talked about the Suicide
Are they
Squad.
puppets? Then I'm in.
The Thunderbirds. We're the Thunderbirds. Marvel Studios present Thunderbirds, Thunderbolts, an irreverent team up featuring depressed assassin Yelena Belova,
Yeah, I'm out.
alongside the MCU's least anticipated band of misfits.
Yeah, they got
This
that
is
right.
The Suicide Squad
They got
again.
that right.
Oh my gosh.
It really, yeah.
Who's in it?
Winter Soldier,
Hopper?
My dad's in it.
Hopper, Ghost.
Oh, okay.
Bucky.
Elaine from Seinfeld, the other Captain America that killed people, and then
Kurt Russell's son.
Yeah.
the one from Black Widow, the girl that was the machine. What's her name?
Oh, really?
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster.
She's in
Taskmaster. Yeah, that's the group.
Who's
She died?
is what's her face? Florence Pugh. She's
Yeah,
in
that's
it?
Yelena. That's what I said.
I forgot her name.
Elena.
You said
That's what I said. Anyways, this to me, here's the thing we'll get into the news, but apparently in the Avengers movie, the Thunderbirds are going to be in the Avengers movie. So I'm like, this movie already seems like I'm not interested in it. Like, none of those characters I like. They were all...
I like Bucky.
Okay, Bucky. Everyone else is just like, meh. Especially Elaine. Like, you should have just stuck in New York with Seinfeld and George. Who let her out of prison? I don't know. Thought she was still there.
Spoiler alert.
But I'm not interested in this. And the synopsis of it just, again, we talked about the Suicide Squad and, it's another band of misfits. How are they ever going to work together? You know, they were going to fight.
They're going to be family eventually.
We fight. And at the end of the movie, we're friends. You know? It's just, no. I'm not interested. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that synopsis made it 10 times worse. I'm really not. I don't care about this at all. But give me a Thunderbirds movie. I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, this is... When does this come out? Next year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did they show a trailer?
They didn't.
Okay.
They showed a Fantastic Four trailer.
Okay.
Didn't show us.
Yeah, this doesn't... this one got delayed, right? It was
I
supposed
think
to come out before.
it's been delayed
continually
a few
delayed.
times,
So that tells me... Well, we'll get into it with the news. It's not a big part of the story. It's just like...
Or it is, and they've revamped it to fit what the story is.
Even then, it's still a filler movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like Black Widow. Black Widow was like the ultimate
Straight to
filler
Disney
movie.
Plus.
Ultimate
Yeah.
filler.
Straight to Disney Plus. We
I had a
Mick
fake
paid for that.
nose. I wasn't breathing this whole time. Yeah.
I don't remember that. I barely remember that.
Yeah, it was like some scent thing that drove you crazy or something.
that
He
what it
would he would control all the Black Widows
With his
because of
pheromones.
his pheromones.
And she broke her nose.
And she
then
broke her
was
nose. She
fine.
couldn't smell.
Aha.
She's like, what you didn't know is I broke my nose.
I mean, I do like Hopper after than that. What's his freaking real name?
Randy Parker.
Randy Parker. Can't think of his name. Gosh dang it. I do love it.
That's why this
I do love
podcast is going places.
You guys know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
You guys know who we're talking about.
I can't think of his name
I
either.
can't think of his name.
Anyway.
It's going to drive me crazy.
You'll think about it as I'm reading this next thing. The big news, the Russos coming back for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. And the big reveal was Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom. He's a variant, Tony Stark variant that plays Doctor Doom. I saw a lot of people excited about this.
That's
I saw
not
a lot of...
though.
I don't think they said he was a variant.
That's not confirmed.
But that's what it's going to be.
Well, we'll see.
I'll say this. If they do that, it's stupid. If they don't do that, it's stupid. Mainly, the whole thing is stupid.
What?
Stupid.
Tell us how you really feel.
David Harbour. Got it.
Yeah, there it is. David Harbour. I told you to get it. But apparently, what the rumor is that Fantastic Four, what's going to happen is
they're going to make crazy time stuff.
What's going to end up happening is at the end of that movie, they're in another, they're in World Universe 10 something. And that's where the Tony Stark variant is, who's Doctor Doom. And they're going to get sucked into this other timeline, the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom. Because Galactus is the villain.
Yeah.
He's going to do something at the end of that movie. The end credit scene is Doctor Doom showing up and being like, "Oh, I'm here. Guess where? Guess who I am?
I'm thinking I'm back."
Exactly. And then that's where the shenanigans ensues, and the X-Men come in
More
and all that kind of
multiverse
stuff.
shenanigans?
Yes, because that's what Secret Wars is going to be. I think the multiverse is... I saw a video today where the guy was like, he hates the multiverse because he's like, it's just basically you have a giant eraser that you can do whatever you want with and be like, that didn't work anymore. What's the reason? Multiverse. You know, it does. It just seems lazy. My only thing is like, if you're going to try to save Marvel and how bad it's been, one of the things you do is like Robert Downey Jr.'s back. So I like that they're throwing this Hail Mary. Let's see how it works out, Cotton. You know,
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
it's a bold strategy. So that's why I'm curious about it, because I'm like, all right, is he going to play just the same Tony Stark character with a different mask?
I hope he does. That would be amazing.
So that's the thing that I'm kind of curious about, because I'm not really invested in these characters. I don't really care. So at this point, I'm like, let's see what you got. Let's see what you can do. I don't think the Russos are amazing directors. I think they basically rode the gravy train, especially since a lot of the scenes that they quote unquote directed were directed for them. So it was kind of like the assembly line of the movies was already in motion. They just got the Russo brothers to kind of do this stuff that Kevin Feige had already figured out. So to me, it just seems like more of the Marvel formula. So we'll see.
Well, the formula's broken, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like you said, Mick, and I'm bummed Corey's not here, because when we talked to him, he was like, I think I have a different opinion than you guys.
Opinion.
But yeah, for me, it's kind of like, it's like reeks of desperation a little bit.
Absolutely.
Of like, we couldn't bring Tony Stark back.
Kang beat his girlfriend, and now what are we going to do? I got to get Robert Downey Jr. on the phone. He beat those allegations.
Get Robert Downey down here.
It's a good redemption story.
Get him over here. But yeah, it's like, because I don't think at the time they had announced or verified that he was a Tony Stark variant. They were just like, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Victor Von Doom. And you're like, well, how does that work? You know what I mean? And if he is a variant,
he has to be a variant.
Well, I mean, sure,
He has to.
But it's all, and I know there's people that are going to be like, well, Doctor Doom was Tony, or whatever. Tony Stark was in the comics somewhat, whatever. There's one of those things. There's a comic for everything. But yeah, it just seems like, for me, I'm just bummed because I was like, why wouldn't I would have liked to see? I'm not saying Robert Downey Jr. is a bad actor, because he's a good actor, and
Oscar-winning Robert Downey Jr.
It'd be good to see him like in a different role. But I also am like, I would have liked to see someone else take a shot. You know what I mean? Like we were talking, Henry Cavill as Dr. Doom would have been sweet.
Yeah.
Or Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
Or Matt Damon. No, not Matt Damon, but
or Jared Leto.
Or Ben Affleck.
Jared Leto.
But yeah, it just seems kind of like And I think what's hilarious is that all of a sudden Kang, that we've been building up to, was like, he's gone. He got beat by ants.
There's going to be a scene where Doctor Doom just kills him.
Is that what's going to happen?
There's a scene in the comics, I think, where Doctor Doom shows up and takes out Kang.
He better show up to that stadium full of Kangs screaming and just.
Hey, I said.
Did you?
I said that when we talked about Doctor Doom. I said this is what it's going to be, a post-credit scene where they're all there going hooping and hollering in that thing, and then Doctor Doom shows up like, "Who's that?" And then he's just going to kill them all. And be like, "I'm the real captain. I'm the real conqueror." You know.
Yeah,
put some respect on my name.
That's the only way they can do it. Because what was it? Kang Dynasty, was that what it was called? And now it's like They did the whole. And they threw it out. And then
like, Kang Dynasty, they're like, no. Donkey Kang. No.
no.
Doomsday.
So yeah,
it'll be interesting to see. The other thing is like Robert Downey Jr. is getting paid $60 million.
I heard 80.
I heard 90.
360 each movie or something like that. I don't know. It's
60
crazy.
million each movie.
I don't know. The numbers are insane. The Russos are getting a ton of money too. So that's just gonna.
Why doesn't RDJ hook it up? Give me just 100,000. That's all I want. That's all I need.
I'll go for 5 million.
Okay.
I'm shooting high. You know what? 60 million.
Yeah. I love this casting, Robert. You're gonna kill it, buddy.
Did I say stupid?
I love you.
I meant smart.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Yeah, like Josh said, desperation. Marvel the past handful of years has been terrible, like actual terrible, not like I'm sick of the Marvel formula terrible. But
hot take, it's always been terrible. It's always been meh.
Like terrible.
No, it hasn't always. Come on.
And like you said, I feel like if it's a variant, it's dumb because the Doctor Doom character on his own is interesting enough. You don't have to have Robert Downey Jr. come back as a Tony Stark variant or whatever they're going to do.
But think about the great story they can tell with Spider-Man when he's like, "No, that's my dad."
And then he shoots webs in his mouth so that he suffocates and kills him at the end. And he holds him in his arms and he's like, "I'm sorry."
Dude, what a terrible way to die that would be.
Yeah, webs up the nose and mouth.
He's just webbing it straight into your mouth. Horror movie.
No, just web the nose and then the mouth.
No. Straight down into your throat.
I could breathe through my eye hole.
Your ears.
And I think also I'm going to be just distracted. And it's just he's
that's Tony Stark.
He's so I mean, he's so ingrained as
that's the guy from Oppenheimer.
He's so ingrained.
Hate that dude. Hate what you did to Oppenheimer.
He's so ingrained as Iron Man that it's going to be really really weird. I don't know. It's just going to be weird.
That's funny.
And I don't think that they're casting him just to put a mask on him all the time. Like, you're going to see his face.
There's no way.
Yeah, that's going to be the typical. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's Robert Downey Jr. You can't even Iron Man ended up being like they would go into his helmet and be like,
dude, I hope they do that for Doctor Doom. Yeah, it just goes in and he's just all scarred up.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, yeah. I mean, unless he's willing to be like, yeah, put the mask on. I get my stunt double to do it. I just cash this check. I'm going to start drinking again.
Whoa, all right.
Gosh, dude. No, he's not going to give us money.
He's on the top of he's on top of the world. He made it back. He got the Oscar. Thank you, Nolan. Now give me the cash and give me them drugs.
Yeah. But I like
I don't condone that. I don't condone it.
I like Robert Downey Jr. I just wish they would have picked a different actor. That's all.
Yeah. Henry Cavill. I'm still championing him for Magneto, though. Or Cyclops. Or Wolverine.
What would you say
Anybody.
Or Thanos' brother.
Kitty Pryde.
Take Harry Styles' spot.
Oh, yeah. What happened to that guy?
Or Star Fox in the new, Mario and Nintendo universe.
Or Slippy.
How about, no, I think Henry Cavill as Link would be great. Let's give him that long blonde hair. Live action.
Zelda.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else to say about this? Or I think we're done. We're done with this episode.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think
just desperation.
Just desperation.
Just desperation.
Yeah. I think what else? Well, there's been a bunch of Rings of Power stuff coming out. So we talked about the trailer.
Yeah.
There's been doing featurettes. They did show footage of the War of the Rohirrim.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so everyone said it looked pretty sweet. So we should be getting a trailer pretty soon.
I'm stoked for that. We've been saying that forever. Pretty soon.
Did you guys see the clip of I think it was during the Captain America panel at Comic-Con. Harrison Ford gets up.
Oh my.
I didn't see this. What happened?
He's like trying to like Hulk out, and he just looks like a crazy person.
Did you see the interview where they're like, what's it like to, what's the secret to doing this? He's like, obviously, you just get the mocap and you get on a green screen and you just feel like an idiot. And you don't care about yourself and don't have any self-respect. I've done it before. He's like, I've done it for the paycheck before, and I'll do it again. Kind of thing. And then he's in another interview, and the guy asks like, I've got a question about who shot first, right? And he's like, and he goes, oh well, normally, I over the years I've Han or Greedo, who shot first? He's like, over the years I've handled this question with grace and dignity, and he's like, that's such a stupid question, and I'm not even gonna answer it.
That's amazing.
I'm like, that's Harrison Ford.
He doesn't give a crap.
Yeah, he really is like the quintessential old man.
Yeah.
Why, as a freaking interviewer, why would you ask that question? Like, do you not know who Harrison Ford is?
They just love getting,
Well,
Like
and
the
they've
Star
asked that
Wars, what do you
question
do, love
1,000 times. Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for the episode this week. Next episode, we're going to be talking about, we all watched Deadpool and Wolverine, so we're going to be dropping our review of that. So make sure you check that out. Check us out on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. We're everywhere. We're all over social media, so make sure you follow us wherever you're at. I don't think these episodes are going to be on YouTube because Corey's not here and he films it and he does it. So make sure you check these out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks so much for hanging out.
Bye.
Bye.